Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today as we're talking about WrestleMania 35 upcoming. This week on Monday Night Raw, we had Kurt Angle. I believe the show was in his hometown of Pittsburgh. He came out and he addressed the fans. He basically said that the career is going to be winding down. It's basically sooner than later than it's going to be done. And he says at WrestleMania 35, he's going to wrestle his last, career-ending match. When I think about Kurt Angle, I think that honestly, he's still going to be doing those independent dates. He might wrestle a day here or there along the way, kind of like Ric Flair. He retired at WrestleMania 24, but he went and he did some stuff for TNA. He went and did the Hulkamania tour. The money's out there. You can't knock a guy like Kurt Angle to go out there and take it to work an indie show. I think the last match that we're always going to think about, for Kurt Angle is going to be that WrestleMania match. It's been something that, even when he was in TNA, he promised us his last match was going to be at WrestleMania. At one point, he said he wanted Jim Ross to call that match. It looks like that's not going to happen now that Jim's out of WWE and is going to be signing a deal with AEW is the stuff that I read. So that's one thing that he's not going to have. The only thing that we don't have right now is basically who Kurt Angle's opponent is going to be. And I mean, you think about what's out there in the world, Triple H, possibly one of the, biggest, opponents that Angle ever had throughout his career, especially if you go back to those days when he was first breaking into the main event scene and he was having those matches against Triple H, against The Rock, against Undertaker. Triple H is going to be having the match against Batista, so that takes him off of the board. People think that John Cena, as of right now, Cena's status for WWE WrestleMania is up in the air. It hasn't been really guaranteed or locked down. We didn't even really know that Cena was going to be at the Royal Rumble this year until pretty much like the week before, when he said that he was going to be there. With him in his movie schedule, the word out that I read the other day is that Cena is going to be making a movie, and that movie is going to end. It's filming the Monday before WrestleMania. I'm not saying that, John Cena doesn't deserve to have a WrestleMania appearance if he's not able to do Monday Night Raw. We know Cena is going to do everything he can for WWE, especially to get that WrestleMania payday, whether that's him, getting off work, getting on a jet and flying, maybe there's going to be a Raw that's close enough that he's able to make some sort of miraculous, appearance on Monday Night Raw. You don't really need to have a huge face-off for Kurt Angle's last match against John Cena. I think, honestly, their rivalry, I guess you can say, if you go back to the early John Cena days when he was breaking into the main event, he kept getting pushed out there against guys like Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle. It was almost like WWE was having him win these matches to try and get him over to the point where you could believe that he was moving up from that mid-card role to that main event spot, and he deserved to be there. They're putting him against the best wrestlers that they had at those spots to show that he deserved it. So it's not like you really, if they were able to get Cena to do one Raw, come down and basically, call out Angle and basically say that, he put the challenge out there. He wants to be the guy to be that stepping stone. He knows that he's the guy who could deliver the best match for Kurt Angle. I think that Cena makes the most sense. Other than that, I mean, like you think of dream opponents. I mean, Sting's basically said his career's done. Sting versus Angle. I mean, that would be a cool match. If Sting had one more left in the tank, you think about what they did for TNA. That's really going to be something. AJ Styles would be awesome. They had a lot of battles in TNA. It looks like, AJ is going to be doing something with Orton. I really hope that they end up doing something like with the ladder match with the World Heavyweight Championship. You know, have you could have AJ, you could have Orton, you could have Daniel Bryan, Mustafa Ali, Kofi Kingston. That's just 5 names to throw in there. I think that would be a really cool thing. Plus, you know, Mustafa Ali would be able to do some cool stuff. Kofi Kingston would be able to do stuff. Oh, Kevin Owens is another guy to put in there. So you have 6 guys in that ladder match. Bryan, Bryan, Owens, AJ, Orton, they're all smart enough, you know, even though the ladder match might be not well, it's hard to say it's not up Kevin Owens' alley when he had those matches he had, the ladder wars for Ring of Honor. He'll find a way to do something cool, even if he's not the guy who's going to be getting the victory. He's going to make sure he gets over. So I think that really works. Other than that, when you look at the Monday Night Raw, roster, there's not a lot of people on it. You have to sort of pick somebody that would be almost returning to WWE or maybe on the sidelines. I honestly can't think of anybody, but to me, honestly, having a match of like Kurt Angle against Baron Corbin, against, Bobby Lashley, basically almost anybody. I mean, it's definitely Elias. All of these matches that, sort of are set up already sound like really bad ideas. If, Angle is going to be wrestling a match at WrestleMania and he wants it to be his goodbye match, that match has to be a stand-up affair, a lot like the Shawn Michaels match at WrestleMania 21. I mean, hell, if we're throwing Sting's name out there, it did say that would be a dream match that we'd like to see. I'd like to see Shawn Michaels come back and have that one more match against Kurt Angle, and both of those guys, wave goodbye and go to go off to the sides. I mean, if Shawn Michaels can wrestle a tag match with him and Triple H going up against Undertaker and Kane, I think everybody can understand if Michaels comes back to prove that he is Mr. WrestleMania. When you think back to WrestleMania's past, they always used to have, this is your WWE Championship, this is your World Heavyweight Championship, this will be your tag match, this is your Shawn Michaels match, this is your Undertaker match, this is your Kurt Angle match, so everybody was getting their stuff in and everybody was having the best matches that they could and going out and trying to steal the show. So other than that, I think that Cena versus Angle would be a great match, and I think that's probably the one thing that people are pointing at when they're looking at WrestleMania 35 rumors that makes the most sense. Other than that, I mean, dream opponents to me would be like trying to bring a guy like Sting or Shawn Michaels back for that. I just think that, Angle, even though it would sort of give him a moment to come back and get a win, against a guy like Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Elias, I don't think that it's really going to deliver a match that people are going to think that, is Kurt Angle worthy for WrestleMania. And plus, honestly, it's not like I'm taking a shot at him. I think Kurt Angle gets over more by losing this match at WrestleMania. So that's why I even more think I'm hoping that he doesn't have a guy. Like, they're like, oh, I know what we'll do to push Elias more. We'll just let him get a win over Kurt Angle. And then people are going to hate him that he was the guy to end his career. So I don't really know anybody out there that's on the sidelines or on the outs with WWE that they could bring back for one more match. Or maybe somebody that is in the company that I'm just not thinking of. But I'm really hoping it's going to be Cena. Cena versus Angle gives everybody a big win there. And Cena needs to get a win back for the Undertaker debacle last year where he didn't get anything in. So we'll see what goes on with this one. Should be a good one. Peace out, everybody.